Good morning! Coda and I are actually currently still in Chicago. We are getting ready to check out of our hotel to fly home to New York. But it's Monday, so I wanted to start a new reading vlog, and it was also perfect because I finished The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz, which I brought with me. So I ended up just taking the weekend that we spent here, which is really nice, to finish this book. We came in Chicago again, like I said, for a little bit of a long weekend. We have a friend who lives here, so it was nice to visit Chicago for the first time as well. I brought this camera thinking that I would make a vlog, but I really, even with a camera this size, really just prefer to take photos. Maybe one day I'll make it out to actually making a vlog, but here we are. I brought another book with me because I totally understand people who read on the plane. You have an isolated amount of time. Sometimes the screen is too small, you can't watch a movie, whatever it may be, but it's really nice to actually read on the plane. So I brought with me Sally Hepworth's The Soulmate, which is a new mystery thriller. I'm also reading it for the book troop pick this month. I believe the live show is next week. And I don't actually know what it's about, just that it seems like a good mystery. Gabe and Pippa live in their dream home in a sleepy coastal town, but their perfect house hides something sinister. The tall cliffs have become a popular spot for people to end their lives, and over the past lives, Gabe comes to their rescue, literally talking them off the ledge until one day he doesn't. Pippa discovers Gabe knew the victim. Would Gabe, the love of Pippa's life, her soulmate, lie? Like I said, I'm in Chicago. I figured out that you can actually fly domestically without an ID. They just do a little bit more of an in-depth search, so we're going a little bit earlier to the airport than we normally would. I was able to go through that process flying here because my renewed ID has not yet arrived. Also, The Writing Retreat, I'm still figuring out what my review, like my thoughts on this book, because I did really enjoy it. I read for a majority of the 2-hour flight here. I just don't know if I enjoyed the twist or not. It reminds me of a couple of other mystery thrillers. Overall enjoyable, just unsure if it'll be like 3 to 4 stars. Flight delay. Morning. Yesterday, due to bad weather, Coda and I's flight back home actually got canceled. The airline gave us free accommodations for the hotel and some meal vouchers, and we woke up in Chicago again. We're getting ready for our next flight. We're right there to check out. Also means missing another day of work, which sucks a little bit. That's the update. I didn't read much. Kind of just spent a lot of the night stressed out. I'm hoping to read a really good chunk of my book today. Coda and I are finally back. We came back over 24 hours after the original time we were supposed to arrive. We got delayed in the air even because we couldn't land for whatever reason. I wanted to read the majority of The Soulmate on the plane out like I had originally did with The Writing Retreat going to Chicago, but I was actually pretty tired and knocked out for a lot of the ride, so I don't actually know if this is the page I'm supposed to be on because I'm surprised that I read 100 pages. I'll figure out what I have read, but so far someone has already fallen off of the cliff. There are chapters of then Pippa, after Pippa, and also of the woman who fell from the cliff. I don't know how relevant that will be. I can already tell that Gabe is really helpful person. He's kind of like this Ken doll type-esque, really perfect, and everyone just really likes him. He's this character that just emanates a lot of warmth. I slept so late last night. Snoozed my alarm also, so I got like 9.5 hours of sleep. I'm a little bit disoriented because I also lay around in bed for an hour like you saw. Today is usually like my gremlin day, my veg day. I don't really do anything, but I do have a book that's overdue at the library, so let's get dressed to do that. I finally made it out of the house and realized that I need to paint my toenails. I hate having bare toenails for the summertime. But I picked up 3 books at the library. One, Little Romance, Shipped by Angie Hockman, which was quite popular last year. I feel like it'd be a good beach read. It's now officially summer, and I would like to make it to the beach soon. I also have The Ghosts We Keep by Mason Deaver. I haven't actually read I Wish You All the Best, or if I did, it was via audiobook because I don't remember reading it physically. I have a Weird Romance. And then I also have the Guncle by Stephen Rowley, which I have been meaning to pick up as well. So those are the 3 books that I have. I actually also really need to read because I haven't at all this week, with it being a reading blog supposedly. And also I'm still 7 books behind on my Goodreads reading goal. I think I need to really hunker down and do a 24-hour reading vlog again, just to read as much as possible, because I really don't want to have to adjust my Goodreads goal. I know that it's a silly little goal that I set myself, but I would like to be able to read 150 books this year. I actually also read a decent amount yesterday on the train to work, so I'm still reading The Soulmate. Things are starting to become a little bit more clear. It really just goes to show that you really can't tell what's going on in someone's life. Things are a little bit more murky. And now I'm getting confused as to what the truth could be, but it's definitely intriguing. I'm getting to about 70% of the way through of this, and honestly, I'm getting a little bit bored. I'm not really sure how this is supposed to end, but I get the stakes. He's rich, he has money, he has a lot of connections, he has a far reach, but I'm getting tired of it. Hello! I haven't yet decided if I wanted to do my bangs yet, but yesterday I finished the Soulmate before I went to bed. How anticlimactic. I really thought this was a mystery thriller. I wouldn't categorize it as such. I think I would call it more of a contemporary with hints of mystery thriller. By the time I hit past halfway through, I was a little bored. It felt like nothing was really changing, and that I didn't really see what the stakes were. It just kept trying to hint at something else happening, but it just felt the same. I hate this. I'm giving it 3 stars. I'm returning it to the library today. It wasn't for me. But I decided that today, it's another blue one, but I bought this 8 months ago. It's Secluded Cabin Sleep 6 by Unger, and I believe it was also published last year. This is following 6 people, 3 couples that go to a secluded cabin. There's a hot tub and a personal chef, but there's a storm that's brewing. It's coming, it's on the way, and the cabin's host is a little bit too present, and they're there all the time. And the personal chef reveals that the cabin that they're staying in has this eerie past, and tensions are running a little high. Everyone has this complicated past. I've read 20 pages of it so far. They haven't yet gone to the cabin at all. They're just talking about going. I can already tell that the family's a little bit weird. It's supposed to be 2 siblings who are really close to their spouses, and then their best friend that goes and their spouse. Not really sure what to expect. Also, I haven't seen many people reading this, but hopefully this makes up for The Soulmate. Now, doesn't that look so much better? The AC's going and it's pretty loud. I'm still reading Secluded Cabin Sleep 6. Something happened in this where I'm now confused as to what the end game is. There are chapters in the perspectives, I guess, of different characters, some of them being someone who isn't out of the 6 people, I think. And it's a little bit confusing. I don't have very much of the book left though, so I'm not sure how I feel about it. Also, all of these characters just kind of suck as people. I finished Secluded Cabin Sleep 6 by Unger yesterday. I'm really disappointed with this also. All the characters are like low-key forgettable, and they all really, I think, suck. Like, there wasn't really anyone standing out for me, maybe except for Bruce, but also he's like literally the most forgettable one. I'm giving this book 2 stars. The setup at the beginning was really, really great. It was atmospheric and the cabin was really gross and creepy, but like the backstory I feel like didn't play enough of a big part in the story overall. It wasn't working for me. There were also too many POVs in my opinion, because some of the information was super repetitive. Like, whatever was in the chapter before would literally be the first thing stated in the next POV, the next chapter, and that just like was so annoying to me. Like, I don't understand why that wasn't edited out. So unfortunately, this is going to be 2 stars. I have my hair done for a concert. This isn't what I'm wearing, but the next book that I want to read and I'm going to be bringing with me is, not to the concert, The Guncle by Stephen Rowley, out of all the library books, because this is the one that I wanted to read like the most since I've been wanting to read it for like the last 2 years. So I hope it does me better, because the last 2 thrillers have been really disappointing. If you have any 5-star recommendations of thrillers that you've read this year, please let me know. I'm also like read this last night, Slam Dunk number 5. I'm really slowly making my way through this series again because I just really like it, and also since I watched the movie in Japan, which I enjoyed, I just wanted to reacquaint myself with these characters. They're also really easy to get through because it's a manga series, and with myself being probably still 8 books behind on my Goodreads goal, it's easy to like bang something out that I'm familiar with, and it also helps me brush up with my Japanese reading skills. Good morning. I'm getting ready to shower, but I wanted to cut my bangs, which I have not done since middle school because I had those side bangs. I'm a little scared. Also, I'm doing a hair mask, so not the best time. Oh my god, I'm scared. I think the last time I cut my bangs was May or April. The shortest strand was at my eye. It's just hair. That's so long. Wow. This is what they do, right? Oh my god. This was a bad idea. Now that my hair has been washed and dried, I actually didn't style it. I naturally let it dry, and it doesn't look too bad because I can hide it. But once it goes up, you can tell, like, this side just clumps together, but this side, right? So I will style it tomorrow to see how I feel about it. I think I'll just keep my hair down for today, and then we'll deal with it tomorrow. I've been reading The Guncle by Stephen Rowley, and I think I'm like 40%, if not 50% of the way through, and this book is a lot more serious than I had originally thought it to be. I thought this would just be like a light comedy type of situation, but in this book it deals with grief. Our main character, Patrick, is the gay uncle of his young niece and nephew, and he has not really seen them, but their mother has since passed. Their mother was his best friend. It was his brother's wife. So his brother is dealing with addiction to pills, and now she has passed away, so he wants to check himself into rehab to just get himself better for his kids, and he wants Patrick to watch them. Patrick is dealing with his own grief of his best friend, but also the love of his life from a previous relationship, and he also is thinking about now going to work because he wants to be able to support his family. He never really had dependents before. He's really needing to come out of his own shell and raise them for like 3 months. So far, I've gotten to the part where he's like decided that he wants to go back to work, and he has like a lot to teach these kids, and these kids have a lot to teach him. So far, it's great. It's still like on the lighter side, but with a little bit heavier topics, but for the most part I am enjoying it. Last night I read actually Slam Dunk number 6 after finishing, this is the wrong book, I know, after finishing The Guncle. I decided to give this 3.5 stars. It is about grief, and I thought that that would really allow me to connect with the characters a lot more, but with like the supporting characters mainly being children, there wasn't a lot to connect to except maybe like the loss of a parent. There were parts that I could connect to. I think the one part that I really loved the most in this book was mostly like a parenting thing though, when they went to a diner or a restaurant and Maisie was really upset. She was just being really cranky and being kind of like a teenager to Patrick, and Patrick was getting so overwhelmed, and the table next to them actually was listening to the whole thing and paid for their meal, and that was like so heartfelt. I feel like it gives permission, or like actually just reminds parents to be like, you have hard days, so do your kids. It's okay that you have those days and that you have your off days and you don't have this grip on yourself. It's all okay. Otherwise, I felt like the talks of grief, I don't know, it all kind of just went over my head. I liked the conversations of it a lot more in other books. That's why I didn't feel like too much of a connection, although I really do admire Patrick for getting out of his shell and wanting to do things and finding a new purpose in life and wanting to live, like actually live and experience life for his family, and like putting himself back out there after this hole that he dug for himself. And then with having also read 2 of these yesterday, or 2 of these last night when I couldn't sleep, let me calculate really quickly my page count. For this vlog, I read a total of 3 books and 3 manga. So my page count's actually pretty high because of the manga, but I feel pretty good about that because I have not been doing well with these reading vlogs, but I read a total of 1,741 pages. The first book that I read, I wasn't really doing well with my novels, which was pretty disappointing. I first off read The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth, and I believe I gave that 2 stars or 2.5 stars because I didn't quite see it as a thriller, and it was pretty disappointing. And my next book was Secluded Cabin Sleep 6, which I gave 2 stars. It had a good setup but really disappointing in the end. And then I also read The Guncle, which you just heard. I gave 3.5 stars. I read number 5, number 6, number 7. I gave 5 stars. This is a reread for me and I'm really enjoying it. I forgot how intense the fight scene was. I'm really excited to be continuing this series again. That is the end for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know again any 5-star reads or 4-star or higher reads that you've been having, because I really need to know. And thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.